timeless, the unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish.
Coach, it is something not seen all that often in these parts. Playoff football in North Carolina. We've got it at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Seattle Seahawks and the Carolina Panthers. One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Ready? Ready? We ain't giving them nothing today. Whip. Watch the whip. Express. Motion. Ready?
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Great. 8.
Here's Newton. That's caught. It's Jarius Wright. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Panther first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Newton. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cover. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey, 46 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So they take the opening kickoff and drive it all the way down the field.
And that's the last thing you want defensively. On the road, in the playoffs, and now you're down a touchdown right away.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. No catches for him in the wild card win last week, but he's got a first quarter grab here.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle.
You got tight right there. Reload.
Second and 10 now. Wilson forced out to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down. And that will wind up just short. He had it online. It ran out of gas at the end. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he's got a big leg, and when everything comes together, he can certainly hit from long range, but this one's going to come up just a little bit short. A very good effort, though.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now Newton on first down. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop, you keep throwing it. Occasionally, you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
20. Tight end right. 3 down. Go nowhere, 22, go nowhere. Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
From the gun on third down, Newton. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
A Hall of Fame coach once said, there are no medals for trying. And that wasn't a trying effort, was it? That was a winning effort. How about that great catch?
Excellent. They know, hey, you lose this game, you get a ding or 2. You got 7 months to heal. They're going to go all out. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On first down, here's Breida. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 33. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 33. They run with Breida. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 27, Wilson. That's going to be caught by Samuel. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
Let's make these babies cry.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make this a 2nd down. To throw is Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
2nd and 10, Newton again. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards to pick up there. Newton on first down. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A big pickup of 38. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
I got you, Pop. 57 to Mike.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
57. Mike, 57. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet. Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation. The shotgun snap for Newton. And that'll be caught. Touchdown Panthers. Olsen. The 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with.
Hey, 50 seconds to Mike. Hey, D. Let's get in there now.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Newton now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. And that is caught. Oh, what a catch at the 5-yard line. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. From the gun, Newton. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Christian McCaffrey. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Panthers, they widen their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Gano the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. And it's a room to maneuver. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit, because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On 2nd and 12, Wilson flushed out right. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open?
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 11 yards and a Panther first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
I'm coming after you.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
I'm coming for you, son.
3rd and 2, Newton. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On 2nd and 12, Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left and got his man complete. The 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 76 yards. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
At their own 25-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they watch this lead shrink a little. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Gun. 8.
Operating from the gun. Newton, and he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down. Newton now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Wright's got it. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
We're going to set, but ain't 50. 50's a mic. 50's a mic. Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
From the gun, Newton. And he's got his target. That's more. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 20-yard line. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. McCaffrey with a first down and more. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Gano now to add the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here, up to the 34.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They run again with Breida. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. On first down, Wilson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now with toss, this is McCaffrey. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
Back at the 50-yard line.
So back at the midfield stripe now, they'll come up 2nd and long. Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Seahawks 20.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
All day, every day, any day. Showing up, showing up. Express!
McCaffrey. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen. Check 13, check 13. 20.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
At the 9-yard line.
Ready? 180. 50. Like 50. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. Watch twist. Watch twist. Check. Ready?
The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10. at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, first down Seahawks. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. This is Breida. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. This is Breida on the draw. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Matt Breida, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware.
That's it. Ready, gun. I'm coming.
The Panthers down to a knee out of the victory formation.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 47-yard line.
Here we go. Ready, cut.
So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready, because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Panthers are winners here as we say so long from Charlotte.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer.